What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, July 23rd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We're coming off a big day, baby, a big day. Perfect timing for me. Friday's my in and out day with my local. So the timing was exceptional. God, it felt good, man. Felt good. Good bounce back day. Needed back to double-digit units on the season. Go 5-1 plus 4.02 units. Cardinals, full game cash. Tigers -1 a plus 107 cash. Braves first 4.5 minus a half cash. Red Sox -1 a plus 100 push. Twins first 7 minus a half loss. Oakland, Seattle first 5 under 4 cash. Dodgers first 4.5 minus a half at plus 115 cash. And we were all cashing. We were all working together. We were all sharing angles. It was the epitome. It was everything that I want this show to be was yesterday. Taint got back to its winning ways. Cardinals first 5 at minus 115. The say hey play of the day, our man Jose, back-to-back winners. Clearly, he needs me to yell in his face. He needs me to get right up in this motherfucking face. And he delivers. So what am I supposed to do? Just sit back and say nice things about him? No! We're going to yell in his face. I'm going to save my voice for that. I'm not going to lose my shit right here thinking about that mustache. I'm going to stay cool and calm right now. But when he gets on screen, I'm going to fucking give it to him. Because if that's the only way this guy can win a bet, then I'll yell in his face! Rusty Kuntz with another casher yesterday. Rusty Kuntz, no run first inning in Mariners A's. Rusty Kuntz, 10-4, hitting at 71.4% on the show. A rare loss from the Dirty K prop of the day. A rare loss, now 39-26, still 60%. Our man Sharpie, our BBW chaser. He's going to be on the show later. Sorry. I just thinking of him hammering away at Giants puts a smile on my face. That was not all. Gas Station Sushi gave us 3 horses at Saratoga. 3 horses. If you bet them all, you came out healthy in the black. His first horse, the 7, Recidivist, didn't look very good. His next horse, Saratoga Kisses, didn't fire. But the great thing about horse racing is his third horse, the 10 Chloe Rose in race 7, cashed $2, paid out $10.60, and won easily. So shout out to Gas Station Sushi. And all you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We got Raymond Reddington, Mariners first 5 moneyline play of the day. Interesting. Raymond Reddington, Mariners first 5 moneyline play of the day. I'm already on that first 5 over. Peanut. Jimmy, the grass is green over here. Good green in my hand, good green in my lungs. I love hearing that. Peanut. Fap, I can't believe this. So Fap gave us a 40-1 spot swanking yesterday, and I couldn't get it. My HPI, I got one South African track, but I couldn't get the track, and I was looking for it. I was trying, and I was like, oh, God, of course, I can't find it. He's going to cash with this 40-1 bomber. Fap, you are a magical thoroughbred, and you're just a magical handicapper all around. Fatbat says he's ordering a giant Mike Fultonavich poster to go on the bedroom wall. I felt like Big Ragu swept the board with 3 bets there in the Braves game. It felt like we were all over that. Jose say, hey, play today, team total over 4.5, and I was on that first 5. It just felt very easy. Nuke Worker says, good morning, everyone from Darlington Nuclear. 3 weeks vacation begins today. Nice. Nuke Worker, what a great time to have vacation. What perfect weather. Oh, my man, Nuke Worker. Well, then we got to meet up. You got 3 weeks off? Let's meet up for a beer. Or let's meet up at the track. Sammy Culmer in the house. R says Tampa Bay only minus 120. Is Fleming bad? I still don't know whether it's Josh Fleming or, the man I care about very much, Rich Hill. I still don't know if it's Hill or Fleming at this point. I've got both capped, ready to go, so I'm ready to go with either. White Sox plus money, rare sight. I know Peralta, a good pitcher. That is a trick. I felt this card was quite tricky. I've made 2 bets that I'm quite confident in. But that's it. That's it. 2 bets. I've got Angels full game. I almost moved on the Angels first 5, but I did not. I also was, I guess I was taking a little bit back. The Angels first 5 opened up at Bet Online about 7:30 this morning at minus 145. Moves to minus 140, then moves to minus 135. And I was surprised, and I thought I'd better off just talking it out with you guys. Keon Jackson in the house. There's Danny A. 6-0 on MLB last night. Hope everyone cashed out well. I love seeing that. Danny A. Great work. Caden Randall. Good morning. Low Bag Nation. What up, Caden? There's Nut Flush Allen in the house. The Real Deal Prime. Real Deal Prime. Our guy. He jumped on the show 19 hours before the show started and started giving comments. I absolutely love it. There's Craig Wood. Said, thanks for the hard work, Craig. God, I love this shit. Like, I love doing the work. It brings me so much happiness, and I love doing the show, and I'm so thankful for all of this. Thankful for working with you guys. So it's absolutely my pleasure, and I just love it. I just love it so much. Beautiful. And thought for anyone new to the chat, here's some Nutful Sound. If you're going to straight tail, then you must be good with any result. My advice is always cap the game and use knowledge and this great check to fine tune. Well put. Well put. There's Turnsey ready to get to work. Mally Mal, man. Another spectacular capper that we have the great fortune of working with day in and day out. All right, I'm way behind on the comments. And we have a ton of work to do. Billy Pilgrim in the house. Maxwell Smart, Fade Jansen live in game. He's a mess. Absolutely right. Absolutely right, Max. You're such a sharp better. Here's another guy, Maxwell Smart. We talk about who are the cappers that you look up to? I look up to the cappers who gamble professionally for a living. Maxie's one of them. Gerald Jones in the house. Cashed 3-team parlays last night. Oakland, Seattle under. Red Sox walk-off. Yeah, I was fortunate with that Red Sox spot. Now, I could have just bet the Red Sox minus 135, taking the win. I wanted the plus 100. And I start doing that sometimes when I'm a little nervous about my spot. It's actually not a overconfident bet. It would look like that, taking the minus 1 the money line. But it's, All right, Arsis Fangraphs, great for pitching. Okay, Robert Allen in the house. We got lots of work to do. A ton of work to do. It's Britt. 8-2-1 on his play of the day. Good job. The Tigers made me nervous, but we both cashed. I got the minus 1 and plus 107. Piker in the house, ready to go. And the Taint play of the day is in. Taint play of the day is in. He's coming off a winner on the Cardinals' first 5. I repeat, Taint play of the day is in, baby. Razor sharp picks in the house, ready to get to work. There is North Ender. Sounds like everyone cashed yesterday. Felt great, dude. It felt so good coming off a 1-4 day. And for Fridays, my in and out 25% day with my local. So fucking felt good. Philadelphia first 5 and over on Baltimore, Washington, and Cleveland. Cash followed the play for Peanut. There's J-Dub ready to get to work. Okay, well, let's do that exactly right now. Let's get to work. Taint play today is in. We got Ross Pitts ready to go. Gerardo Hernandez, OG Lowbagger, and here we go. Rusty Kuntz play today. Jay's team total over 4.5 at plus 115. Let me copy and paste that so I've got that ready to go here. Where is it? Come on. There we go. Rusty Kuntz play of the day is in. And when you hit 71.4% out of the gate, you know what we do, Turnsey, is we make graphics for you. So graphics will be on the way. Rusty Kuntz. And I think we should just cut the pushes. Pretend the push didn't exist, so then we can use your percentage that way. Okay, here we go. There we go. Rusty Kuntz is in. Okay, Nate Schellhammer, ready to go. Look at Row ready, and there we go. Spreadsheet play of the day, 3-0 this week. Milwaukee minus 125. This is what I'm talking about. All of us working together, sharing our best spots, sharing our angles. This is exactly what Pistol Pete Loshek and I always dreamt of. All right, let me just find the spot for the That's a very interesting game. The White Sox Brew Crew game. It scares me, but it doesn't scare Ron Crawford, who's giving out winners on every show all week. Excuse me. Rodney Barton ready to get to work. Robert Cherry in the house. Jared JB ready to go. Robert Allen is so nervous about Sharpie's 30K prop yesterday. I hate it. Usually I like them, respect, but yesterday the innings for the play. I don't know how they lost, but I had them +1 at -135. I get it. Again, we have all these great cappers giving us their best looks. And if it correlates with your plan of attack, that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. There's our guy, Clint Star, the Die Hard MMA podcast. And North Ender, what a guy. Very, very, very kind. Thank you for the dono. It means so much to us. It means so much to us, man. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you, North Ender, enormously. And there it is. Ergo Costas. I took Chloe Rose the moment you mentioned it yesterday. In fact, once they opened the odds, I got it for +750. I had a boy. Yeah, because it was morning line 6-1, went off at 4-1. All right. It is time to get to work. Rose says, anyone like the Orioles today? I kind of do. I kind of like them first 5, but I did want to talk that out. Billy Friedrich says, Dodgers first 5 was money. Well, look, I needed that home run in the 4th because I had the Dodgers first 4.5 at +115. So I was pretty thankful. All right, let's get to work. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Enough slapping each other on the ass for our great success yesterday. Let's get more success, more winners. Right now, we've done the work. Let's execute. Execute the game plan. But before we do, one more thing to add. Our low bagger, Luke Murphy, who is at author L. Murphy on Twitter. His new book, he's an esteemed author, his new novel, Finders Keepers, is being released today. So I'm going to tweet that out a little bit later in the day. But if we could all support one of our own, Luke Murphy's new book, Finders Keepers, released today. Shout out to author Luke Murphy. All right, let's get to work. We start at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Diamondbacks 30-68, 11-38 on the road at the Chicago Cubs, 47-50, 28-17 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. 85 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour out to left center. We have Zach Gallen going up against Zach Davies. And here is the tricky situation that all handicappers handle sort of a little differently. Some excel in this situation and some find it tricky. I personally find it tricky. Zach Gallen, Zach Davies both face the opposition. They're both soft tossers, and it concerns me that they're seeing this opposition a second time in a row, especially with the wind blowing out at Wrigley. Zach Gallen, 1-4, 3.86 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 56 Ks, 23 walks, and 5 home runs. There is our guy, Diesel Eugene, in the house. So, Gallen, last start at home versus the Cubs. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 0 homers, 2 walks, 7 Ks, and a 4-2 loss at home versus the Cubs. Now it was a 4-2 loss. That was the spot, if you guys remember, where Loshak and I, it was on, I believe, Saturday. Loshak and I both jumped on Zach Gallen in the Diamondbacks first 5, and it cashed comfortably. Going up against Zach Davies. Now, Zach Davies was the day before, I believe, when he went up against Arizona. He was in a 6-4 loss at Arizona. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 4 walks, 3 Ks. Davies 5-6, 4.35 ERA, 1.48 WHIP, 97 1/3, 62 Ks, 52 walks, 9 home runs. For our statistics today, for our statistical analysis, we're going back to the full year of stats. MLB.com, there's something wrong with the site right now. They're not. If you go to the past 30 days, they only give you the overall last 30 days, how they're hitting. They don't break it up for righties and lefties right now. Hopefully that will change. It is not changed right now. So we're going to focus on the year-long stats again. And I'm not too concerned that we're doing this. So Diamondbacks first righties, 231, 671 OPS. Cubs first righties, 218, 682 OPS. Neither hit righties. Diamondbacks bullpen, 5.39 ERA, 1.54 WHIP, have converted just 12 of 31 save opportunities. The Cubs bullpen, 3.40 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, converted 25 of 34 save opportunities. And look at our guy, Luke Murphy, in the house. It's such a big day for him. He's got all these responsibilities with his novel being released today. Of course, he's here in the chat, capping with us. God, I love him. Professor Chris says D-backs for once. YouTube Everything says Arizona underdog. Nice. There's Benjamin Martin in the house. Ben, we've missed you, my man. Soupy Panny says Cubs break their losing streak back home. First 5 and full game Cubbies. R says first 5 under decent. So R still looking at trusting these two pitchers, even though they've seen the opposition just the week before. Mike M says Arizona's road losses were so bad that they have to come away. Were so bad that they have to come away with the win. When both pitchers are starting less than a week after the same team, I'll take my chances on Arizona. There's Ty Clinton in the house. Mally Mouse says, my book's not even giving me plus money on the Diamondbacks. Luke Murphy said, I like first 5 and full game under until heard the wind is blowing out. Yes, 7 miles per hour out to left center. Gerald Jones says, Arizona first 5 is a good look. All right, so let's move over to the market that we are dealing with here. So I know a lot of you guys are looking at first 5 and full game. First off, this opened up at 11. Pinnacle opened up this total at 11. That's wild. Not only that, so they opened up this total at 11 just 3 hours ago. Interesting. And like you would imagine, within 8 minutes, it goes down to 10.5. Then 10 minutes after that, it goes back to 11. Then 8:44, back to 10.5, and then 9:11 now down to 10. Very interesting market movement. Cubs and Zach Davies open up at -143 at Pinnacle. They're now at -137, so a 6-cent move to Zach Gallen. Let's go over to first 5 and take a look at first 5 right now. First 5, we have this total at 6. It was originally juiced to the over. It's now juiced to the under. There's Nasty Nate Pierre Swartas in the house as well. Very, very, very interesting. A very high total. So let's go to baseball data and see how these pitchers fare against the opposition. That's the next step, and then we'll look and see where the cash lies. Against Gallen, they're hitting 167 with a 508 OPS. Now that's just 3 for 18, and we know he pitched well against them last week. They have the humidor in there in Arizona because balls were just flying out of play before they brought that in a couple of years ago. So he's at home in a very comfortable situation, and he pitches well. Now he's at Wrigley, and the wind's blowing out. Zach Davies, 316 average, 934 OPS against. This all and Mally Mouse says, I don't know why they would open it so high. And there's Melvin Betances ready to get to work on a Friday. I love it, Melvin. What up? All right, let's go to cash flow here. We have 67% of the tickets and 47% of the cash on Chicago. Very interesting. 67% of tickets, but just 47% of cash. Then we have 58% of the tickets and 41% of the cash on the over, and that's confusing when the market moves so drastically. Life of Von Polo, coming to us live from Charm City, says, I love the dog in this fight. This makes me nervous. This makes me very nervous. I mean, why don't we take a look at Zach Davies' home splits right now? And they're a little tricky with Zach Davies' home road splits because Zach Davies has had some pretty fortunate opportunities with wind blowing in so far this year when he's pitched at home. Let's just take a look at his home splits. This soft tosser. Call someone a soft tosser in prison, you get stabbed in the throat. All right, let's take a look at this soft tosser. So he's had last 5 starts, all being okay, but he's only made it, or the last 4 starts, he's only made it 5 innings once. All right, let's go to his splits very quickly here. I think this game is making me uncomfortable enough to just stay off of it. Davies at home, 4.27 ERA. Opponents batting 254. On the road, 4.43 ERA. Opponents batting 253. And Trinzy said first 5 just went to 5 at Pinnacle. Wow. Went to 5 from 6? Wow. So a heavy steam coming in. Oh, wow. It's 5.5 now at Bet365 as well. No, it's just moved to 5. Okay, so clearly steam coming in on the under, and I've missed it. Robert Cherry, he's still around, man. He's still around. And it's if you want those analytics, those stats on umpires, RotoWire does a nice job with umpire statistics, so you can get them. Wow, okay, so I shouldn't have been so scared, I guess, that the two pitchers had just faced the opposition last week, and I should have probably moved on the under. And I would have done that first 5 and not full game. We know the Diamondbacks bullpen is trash, and the Cubs bullpen's been bad lately. Tyler Duda says, I got it in at 6. I like that. You should like that. Great job. Okay, so no move for me. And Mally Mouse says they do not hit Gallen. I'd like to see, I mean, we're talking such a small sample size, Mally Mouse, so 18 at-bats. So at home, when Gallen had consecutive home starts, remember we talked about that. We have a couple pitchers in that same situation today. In a controlled environment, he had a very good start against the Cubs. Now it's hot. The wind's blowing out to left center. I'm not saying he doesn't do it again. And here we go. Razor sharp picks. Gambler's first glance is out. Red Sox money line at -114. Red Sox money line at -114. Let me copy and paste that here. Right there. We have Gambler's first glance in. Okay. All right. So no move for me. No move for me in Diamondbacks Cubbies. This game pops off at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. In the past, as you guys know, I would reach to make sure that I had afternoon action just because I need it. But I'm not doing that this year, and we're back plus double-digit units, 213 wins, 178 losses, 54.5%, plus 12.14 units, ROI plus 3.10%, average line -12, coming off a 5-1 plus 4.02 unit day. All right, let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Braves, 47-48, 21-23 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 47-48, 27-18 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 80 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour in. Max Fried up the lefty on the hill for these Atlanta Braves, 7-5, 4.29 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 79 2/3, 79 Ks, 26 walks, 9 home runs. He had a tough start to the year, and his last start was very good. I came very close to betting the Phillies first 5 last night. Well, it wasn't available for me last night. It would have been available for me this morning, but my plan, because I did a radio spot, I do radio spots Friday morning early, and my first plan was to give out the Phillies first 5, but I had some trepidation with how Max Fried's been pitching, and that last start I know was against the Rays, and they don't hit lefties, but it was impressive, and he's the type of pitcher that can get hot, and after losing Acuna Jr. for the season, somebody's got to step up, and Freeman has in the media stepped up, and now Fried has to on the bump. I'm a little nervous. Zach Wheeler, 7-5, 2.44 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, 125 2/3, 152 Ks, 28 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start at home versus the Marlins, he allowed 4 earned runs and 7 hits. So we've been seeing pitcher after pitcher who's going through a tough time get the opportunity to start against the Marlins and be lights out. But not Zach Wheeler. 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 7 Ks. It was a 7-4 win, but it wasn't good. Braves hit 237, 744 OPS versus righties. Phillies hit 254, 744 OPS versus lefties. Braves bullpen on the year, 4.62 ERA, 1.42 WHIP, have converted 20 of 35. They've been much better of late. Phillies bullpen been bad all year, 4.69 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, converted 22 of 25 save opportunities. Skip profits if you don't need action of your top shot cards. Yes, I am collecting NBA Top Shot cards, and I love it. I love it. Look, it's I feel like a kid again, collecting Top Shots. I'm all over it. I'm on that site every day. Okay. Okay. Top Set in the house, whom we love dearly. Great to see you. All right, let's take a look at what you guys think about this spot here. Look at this. Max Fried over a half base is a winner. What is the line associated with that, Maxie? I bet you get paid out full for getting a pitcher prop like that. Matty Ice says Real Muto total base prop over 1.5 at plus 120. Huh. Very, very interesting spot. Carlos Luder says, let's hit that over 7.5. R says totals over for look plus 330 for Max. Oh, that's a very, very exciting bet. All right, let's go over to baseball data here with the Braves Phillies. The Braves are hitting 295 with a 920 OPS. The Phillies against Max Fried are hitting 295 with a 920 OPS. The Braves against Wheeler 238, 725 OPS. So that stat would lead you towards the Phillies' first 5. Let's take a look and see where the odds are in this. We have the Phillies sitting at minus 160. Minus 160. Now I'm minus 165. So if I wanted to knock that down and obviously take the Phillies' first 5 minus a half, it's available right now. It's at minus 120. Phillies first 5 minus a half at minus 120. And I don't know if I want to do that. There's Lucky Power in the house. Great to see you. YouTube Everything says, I think Braves keep it rolling, but Wheeler been dealing. He hasn't been dealing. He has not been dealing of late. Gerald Jones says over 7.5 seems to fit for that ballpark. 80 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour in. All right, let's see where the cash flow lies. We have 4,312 tickets in. 68% of the tickets are on the Phillies, and 88% of the cash is on the Phillies. So, and then 62% of tickets on the over, but just 26% of cash on the over. There's Nigel Lee in the house. Great to see you, Nigel. I don't want the first 5 minus a half at minus 120. I don't want to have to cover juice on the first 5 minus a half. Now, we talk about getting another home start in a row, right? So we had the All-Star break, and a lot of pitchers got out of their rhythm. Their continuity got messed up. Zach Wheeler comes out of the All-Star break. He has a home start against the Marlins. He does poorly. Now he has a second consecutive home start. He gets to stay in his routine. I expect him to pitch well here. And I expect Max Fried to pitch well here. Who hits him? Let's just see. Who are the guys that hit Max Fried? Herrera, 3 for 4. Real Muto, we already saw our guy Matty Ice on Real Muto, 9 for 20 with 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers. Bryce Harper, 5 for 15 with 2 homers. And Gerald Jones says Wheeler hasn't been good last 3 starts. Mike M says Wheeler bounce back spot. Love the second consecutive home start. So do I. And Pierre Swartas talking about the Cleveland Guardians, the new name for what was the Cleveland Indians. They are now going to be called the Cleveland Guardians due to the statues that they have going onto their bridge there, their famous bridge there. I haven't wrapped my head around the Guardians. I mean, I don't even want to get into it right now. Look, I'm not going to move on this. I agree that the angle of the second consecutive home start for Zach Wheeler is probably beneficial. But the Braves are showing fight, and I don't want a juiced minus a half. That's it. I don't. If I'm going to take minus a half first 5, I don't want it juiced, and it's too juiced. Mally Mouse says Atlanta's starting to seem like free money. Piker says there's some value on the over here. We can get 5 runs through 6 at least, and then the bullpen's late. I'm close to making this play. And R says Braves first 5 are over. So let's go back to this total full game. So we saw that first 5 was 4. Let's go back to this total first game. Now remember, the Braves bullpen's been much better than the Phillies bullpen of late. But we're sitting at 7.5, and the under, it's juiced to the under. Now there's only been a 3-cent move to the under, but then we go back to where the cash lies, and we have 74% of the cash on the under and just 34% of the tickets. So there's a huge belief that these two pitchers are going to pitch well here today. JT in the house. What's happening? Matty, I have a concern that Nedeljkovic was available for a very cheap price. I don't understand why. So I have a legitimate concern that there's something going on that that other people in the league know about that I don't know about? That's my first thought. Sharpie getting us excited. It's Nedeljkovic. The Detroit Red Wings picked up Nedeljkovic from the Hurricanes for a third rounder. Okay, so I think, going over this one more time, that Zach Wheeler has not been good, but the market expects him to be good in the second straight home start. This is a divisional game. This is a playoff type game, and I know both teams are sitting 47 and 48. Max Fried's coming off a great start. Wheeler's coming off a poor start. He has to be better here. We see that big bets, clearly syndicate or sharp money or what have you, are on this full game under 7.5. And this under is being bet. It's moved. So I told you it had moved 3 cents. It's just moved 4. It just moved. Oh, no, it hasn't moved. It's still sitting at minus 120 at Pinnacle. Okay. And Bernier. No, you're right, Turnsy. And Bernier. What the hell are you going to do with Bernier? What do you? I don't know. And Billy Friedrich says, Kane season ticket holder here. Good luck with Ned. Yikes. Okay. I'm leaning towards a first 5 under 4 after all of this talk. And I'm going to put a question mark beside it, not hum and haw, but I'm leaning there right now. Mike M says, Flyers last two moves drafted Patrick even though he was hurt at 2 and sent him away, then trade Ghost. 2 draft picks, didn't even get a bag of used pucks in return. I'll tell you the moves that I love are what Vegas has done in the offseason. But we got lots of time to get in the hockey, and let's not do it now. But picking up 2 young centers loaded with potential, and we know that their weak spot was centers. So they get Howden off of the Rangers. He was a first-round pick, and then they get a number 2 overall pick in Nolan Patrick. I love it. Okay. Yes, Puzzler. Cleveland Rockers would have been so much better. Okay, we move on. And I know I'm humming and hawing a lot over these early games, and I apologize. This is a pretty tricky card. And this is another spot that I'm humming and hawing over. I'm interested in the Baltimore Orioles first 5, but I wanted to talk it out. Washington Nationals, 45 and 50, 18 and 25 on the road. At Baltimore Orioles, 31 and 64, 13 and 30 at home. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland, 83 Fahrenheit clear, 4 miles per hour in. Patrick Corbin going up against Jorge Lopez. Corbin's been terrible this year, and so is Lopez. Look, I get it. And you know what? Every time I look down at Lopez's numbers, even his last start, so it was an 8-4 win at the Royals, and he got off to an okay start in that game, but he still ends up allowing 7 hits and 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. Jorge Lopez, 2 and 12, 6.04 ERA, 1.63 WHIP, 89 and 30, 85 Ks, 39 walks, 14 home runs. Sonny Springs in the house. What up, Sonny? Corbin, 6 and 8, 5.66 ERA, 1.47 WHIP, just 76 Ks and 98 and 2/3, 35 walks, 18 home runs. He's not been good. Last start, 5 1/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks, and 10-4 loss at home versus the Padres. The Padres are raking right now. The Orioles aren't. But they hit lefties hard on the year, 269, 752 OPS. Nationals versus righties on the year, 253, 730 OPS. Nats bullpen, 4.46 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, have converted 22 of 34. Orioles bullpen, 4.94 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, have converted 15 of 30. The Orioles bullpen's falling apart. So let's take a look at the market here. Then we'll go over to baseball data. So with the Orioles spot, we have this first 5 opening up at 5.5, juice to the under. There's been a move back to the over, so it's a pick 'em at 5.5. That seems like a number that we can get over. And then full game, we have the Nats opening up at minus 125. They're now at minus 132. And this was initially juiced to the under 10. Now it's juiced to the over 10. And I wonder if that's just, public money looking at these inflated ERAs. And maybe is there sharp money on the under? Look, there is. Jesus. I had not looked at this beforehand. Look at this. So 81% of the tickets on the over, 84% of cash on the over. Look at this. 32% of tickets on the under and 97% of cash on the under with 4,035 tickets in. This is the type of spot, the contrarian look or the spot where the sharp thinks he's going to get value. He thinks the public's going to look at this 6.04 ERA for Jorge Lopez, this 5.66 ERA for Patrick Corbin, and be all over the over. Very, very, very interesting. Sharpie says, since the All-Star break, Orioles are number 23rd OPS versus left-handed pitching. Not the team you think of when you say they hit left-hand pitching. They're 24th last 32. And I wish MLB.com would give us this information like they did before. But there is a problem with their sortable team stats. If you go to right here, if you go to last 30 days here, all right, the Orioles are 24th overall in batting. But if you select a split, nothing changes. So I'm curious to see where you get those stats right now because the MLB.com is not giving them right. So I have them, as you say, Sharpie, I have them 24th in the last 30, but that's not against left-handed pitching. That's overall. So this fucking MLB.com's messing with us a little bit there. Okay, so let's go for a little bit deeper look here. But clearly, the Sharps are on the under here. Robert Allen says fastball to changeup for Jorge Lopez is awesome. If he's on with those today, the Orioles got a good shot at first five. I expect the Orioles first five is not a bad bet. But I don't know if I have the balls to bet it. I mean, it would certainly be my only look. So let's go to baseball data against these teams. Against Corbin, they're hitting 321 with just a 763 OPS. So 9 for 28, but only one extra base hit, a double. And against Lopez, they're hitting 282 with a 685 OPS. So the same type of deal. 11 for 39, but just two extra base hits, a double and a homer. Gerald Jones says Washington bats are hot. Piker says Orioles smash lefties. Corbin is a terrible one. You're getting plus money value here. Take the O's here. And Maxwell Smart, Trey Turner over a half single must bet. So I'm staying off of this spot. Piker says I have his blessing for the Orioles first five. I just don't think I have the balls to make that bet. But I completely get it. There's Big Show picks in the house. And Bama Boy says over all day, locked it in at 9.5. And Leonard Porsche, it's my birthday, Jimmy. Leonard Porsche, OG low bagger. Happy birthday, my man. Thank you for all that you do for us in the chat and on Twitter. Always supporting us. There's Ulysses Hayes in the house as well. Okay, so Bama Boy says over all day. I like that you locked it in at 9.5. I have not seen that anywhere at 9.5, but that was a great move on your part. But I would be very concerned. Oh, you're right. It opened at 10 and then went down to 9.5 for about 6 hours. Great work. Great find if you're going to be on the over. But isn't that interesting that you have these enormously high ERAs that we know the public will be staring at for the over, and the first move is under? Wow, I did not know that. If that's facts, Nikolai Jabinski, if that's facts, then that shit will get shut down immediately. So that's the first I heard about that. That shit will get shut down immediately. All right, Canadian Capper in the house, and happy birthday, Leonard Porsche Jr. Okay, so no move for me, but I guess the Orioles, I'm not even going to put slightly in. I know that I have a slightly in the words. I'm not going to put them. Okay, we move on. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Razor sharp picks. Gambler's first glance is here on the Red Sox money line at -114. New York Yankees 15-45, 23-22 on the road at the Boston Red Sox 59-38, 29-19 at home, Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. And that brings us to the say hey play of the day from our man Jose. And look, it's clear to everybody what's been working here. Getting up in his face, letting him know how important it is that he succeeds on this show. Give back to the people that give him so much. He's hit 2 winners. We all know what's going to happen. We're going to start out with the mustache cam. Then we're going to lay a fucking strip into Jose. Please welcome my son, Jose. Say hey, play of the day. Jose, how are you?
I'm worried about my future prospects for how much I enjoy being yelled at, apparently. So this is going to be a good day.
Don't act like you've done anything yet, Jose. 2 straight winners. All you've done is crawled out of a ditch. That's it. You're out of the ditch, but you're still thirsty. You're still begging strangers to blow them for no reason whatsoever.
None. Absolutely none.
We need winners, Jose. We need them here. We need them now. We need you to deliver. You're still down 4+ units, and it's not acceptable. What's your plan here in Yankees Red Sox?
I've got, Jimmy, let's break this down. I was running all over the place with my graphics this morning. That was a fun time. And I looked at the lines a little later than I usually do. And I was appalled, Jimmy. And I got a good hearty chuckle out of this. Shout out to Molly the dog as she's chilling in the background right now. Garrett Cole and the Yankees.
We don't care about Molly the dog. We need a winner now.
I'm taking the Red Sox money line as well. I'm on the Red Sox money line as well with razor sharp picks. I at first, when you look at the Garrett Cole and the Yankees being the underdogs, that's your auto bet, right? But I think it's a trap. And I think that Garrett Cole and the Yankees struggle again today. Garrett has a high, I think it's in the 4s ERA against the Red Sox this year. They've got his number. Eduardo Rodriguez apparently has the Yankees number, always pitches well against the Yankees. So I look at your overs, but I think I'm going with the Red Sox money line, riding with Razor as well.
Red Sox money line. So you are now putting your faith into a man that you have faded often on this show, Eduardo Rodriguez. 7-5, 5.19 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 95 in the third, 112 Ks, 23 walks, 14 home runs. His last start was at the Yankees. Now he comes back to Fenway. In that start, 5 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a 4-0 win at home. Let's go over to the baseball data. Against Eduardo Rodriguez, they're hitting .231 with a .776 OPS. Talk to us a little bit about the faith that you have in Eduardo.
Yeah, so like I said, when he was struggling, it seemed like Eduardo was trying to get his rhythm back. He had his COVID case and heart inflammation last year, trying to get his feet under him. And the Yankees are always seeming to be the medicine he needs, the antidote that he needs to try to fix himself. Last start was actually against these Yankees again, 5 2/3, only 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks. Another start, 6 earned runs, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 8 Ks again. Another start, 5.1 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks, 1 walk. There's familiarity there, yes, but I mean, at this point, it's been pretty clear. Eduardo really enjoys pitching against the Yankees, and it's not just this year as well. As I scramble to bring up Eduardo Rodriguez's career stats against the Yankees, but he's always seemingly had their number. I've always enjoyed watching him pitch, and like I said previously, when he struggles, the antidote that he needs is the Yankees apparently. So I find that endlessly fascinating. And on top of that, Garrett Cole has been the guy that I faded the most this year out of the elite pitchers. His spider tack issues have been well documented. We don't really have to talk about that. And by the way, Eduardo Rodriguez 8-6 with a 3.6 ERA against these Yankees. So I'll gladly take that. But Garrett Cole being the best pitcher in baseball, I think we can put that behind us for right now. He has not been that guy this whole year. The Red Sox hit him well. I think that there's the Red Sox, as Jimmy, you would say, they struggle a little more with these soft tossers, the soft tossing lefties. It seems to me like they struggle with, but with just gas, you know what's coming. It's going to be hard, and you got to eventually swing it and hope you hit it. So I'm taking the Red Sox money line. I think they get the job done today with you, Razor, and I can't wait.
The market is telling us that this is the right side. 40% of the tickets on the Red Sox, 52% of the cash, and a 15-cent market move towards the Red Sox. Red Sox opened up at even money across the board. So that's what 3,934 tickets in. For those of you looking at the total, 57% of the tickets on the under, 93% of the cash on the under. Garrett Cole's numbers against these Red Sox, 243 with a 758 OPS. And we have Jose on the board. Jose, bring that mustache up close for me here. Bring it up close.
Okay, I'll give you a good look. Let me give you every follicle I can right here.
Jose, you get your fucking shit together and you deliver for my friends and family in this goddamn chat. Oh, my shit!
Is that when you lose your shit? You all right? You all right, Jimmy? You know, I worry about your voice for the rest of the shows after this. I just want to let you know that. I feel like you need some good chamomile tea after this when you see me.
Shut the fuck up. How about
and
that?
people want us to do a full show together.
Why don't you shut the fuck up, Jose, and give us some fucking winners, all right? There you have it, Jose. Say hey, play of the day. God, this better come through. Red Sox money line. Actually, Jose, jump back on for a second. What is the line you got it at?
That's a good question, Jimmy. Right now, currently with our friends Pinnacle, it's at -116.
-116.
That's what we'll roll with our friends at Pinnacle. And by the way, thank you for letting the screen get blessed by a mustache again one more time. I know that people were clamoring for it.
Everybody is. That's what's the talk on the streets.
Yeah. Again, I got another compliment, by the way, Jimmy. Another mustache compliment.
Well,
racking them up.
I just need you to deliver winners. All right. That's what I fucking need, Jose. God bless you. Jose, say hey, play of the day. I'm going to sit back and cheer this look on, but I do think that this is playoff type baseball. The Yankees need wins now, and I can see why there's a move towards the under. I can see why both bullpens strong all year. What is this total at? 8.5? I mean, it's always nerve-wracking taking an under at Fenway, but this just feels like playoff baseball, doesn't it? Let's just go back to the cash here. We have 56% of cash. Now, 55% of the tickets on the under and 90% of cash on the under. This is playoff-type baseball. All right. Matt Paulin says Yankees bullpen is a joke. Aroldis Chapman has been terrible, but the Yankees bullpen's been pretty good all year long. Aroldis Chapman's been unbelievably bad. Okay. I think that this is going to be a playoff type baseball game. And wow, Gerardo Hernandez says I see Red Sox at -130 at 3 minutes. I think I'm moving on the full game under 8.5. Full game under 8.5 will be my move. I'm going to think about it while we break down the rest of the games, but that feels like the spot last game. Matt Paulin says, did you see the game last night, Jimmy? Yankee bullpen implosion. Yeah. Look, I was on the Red Sox -1 yesterday. But okay. No, I hear what you're saying, Matt. I hear what you're saying. Okay. Okay, I'll leave one question mark beside it, so I'll keep working on that. But we have razor sharp picks and Jose on the Red Sox in this huge, huge game. Matt Paulin says like 5 wild pitches lost in the game. Yes, our man Jose was tweeting about the wild pitches as well. And Piker saying under 4.5 first 5. That's my play here. So maybe that's the spot, is the focus. Dutch Boy Fresh says why full game over first 5. Why full game over first 5? He likes first 5. These are top 6 bullpens in the league over the season. Red Sox bullpen 3.63 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. Yankees bullpen 3.67 ERA and 1.18 WHIP. Billsy says Yankees getting the win. Cole's going for 9 Ks. Robin Allen says shocked. Cole's the dog here. Sticky stuff or not, he's still the top pitcher in the game and not as hot as the Yankees are right now. He's coming off a nice start at home versus Boston. You know what? I think the fact that these two pitchers have just seen each other is enough to make me not want to move on it. But clearly, seeing 90%, it's going to be a playoff type atmosphere, 90% of the cash. I'm going to put a few more question marks here on the full game, and I'll put the first 5 with it too. I've still added nothing at this point on my card at this point, but I do find that first 5 under 4 interesting in Braves at Phillies. Okay, let's move on right now. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. San Diego Padres 57-42, 24-23 on the road at Miami Marlins 41-56, 22-22 at home. Lone Depot Park, Miami, Florida. The roof is closed. Joe Musgrove going up against Zach Thompson. Musgrove 5-7, 3.14 ERA, 1.00 WHIP, 103 in a third. There's Steve Priest in the house. Nats Orioles over. Angels money line for Steve Priest. I'm on the Angels money line. And Piker says playoff atmosphere in Beantown. It's going to be an incredible game to watch. No doubt about it. Okay, let's go back to this right now. And attaboy, Brian Watson. Okay. Zach Thompson. Okay, first off, Musgrove's last start was not very good. It was at Washington. We know the Washington's raking 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And now he stays on the road, but he goes into Miami with the roof closed. Zach Thompson on the other side. He just had 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and a 4-2 extra inning loss at the Phillies. He's got a 1.93 and a ERA and 1 WHIP on the season. Padres versus righties, 246, 744 OPS on the season. Marlins versus righties, 233, 672 OPS. Padres bullpen, 2.93 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, 33 of 50 converted saves. Marlins bullpen on the year, good, 3.54 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, converted 17 of 36 saves. Padres, Marlins. Let's start with the baseball data. Only 3 batters have seen Musgrove. They're 4 for 10 against him with 2 homers. It's Jesus Aguilar who's 3 for 6 with 2 home runs. Oh, one thing I didn't do that I should have done is our guy, Don't Ask, Don't Tail. Shout out to you for the $10 dono. It was right around when I was losing my shit on Jose, and I was very focused on, screaming in his face because clearly that's when he succeeds. I'm only doing it for his best interests. And much love to you, Don't Ask, Don't Tail. Says push me down. Daisy. Okay, all right, let's go. Okay. Here we go. So we just went over the fact that none of the Marlins, none of the Padre batters have seen Zach Thompson, but he is a tough pitcher. Let's go to the market and see what we are dealing with here. We have this total opening up at 8 and minus 111. There's been just a 1 cent move to the under. Then we have the Padres opening up at minus 150. They're still at minus 150, and I bet you that should be a red flag. Let's see where the cash is, and it is somewhat of a red flag. 67% of the tickets on the Padres and just 53% of the cash. People out there think the Marlins have a nice shot here, which is very, very interesting. Then we have 53% of the tickets on the under and 71% of the cash on the under. Can you trust Zach Thompson to get through this lineup? And can you trust the Marlins bullpen to get through this lineup? Because I expect Musgrove to have a nice start against these guys. Look what happened yesterday. You have Blake Snell, who's got a 9 ERA on the road, but he gets a chance to pitch against these Marlins, and he's lights out. And that was what made me uncomfortable about Zach Wheeler. And I know Wheeler's got a second consecutive home start now. Maybe he gets on a roll, but he should have been able to shut down this Marlins squad. He was unable to. But this under seems appealing. And these bullpens are so good that there's no real reason to focus on the first 5 under. The question is, can Zach Thompson get these Padres out in a sleepy game? Big Ragu in the how Jacksonville Zoe ready to get to work. All right. Okay. I am going to move on the full game under in Padres Marlins. Full game under 8. I am going to move on that. The other 2 spots, I'm like, I guess what's happening now with that Braves Philly spot and that Yankees Red Sox spot is that because there's going to be a playoff type atmosphere, more so for sure with the Yankees Red Sox, I'm thinking that the game goes under. Matt Pollan says Musgrove past starts ever since the sticky stuff. He's been pretty bad. It just feels, Matt, that the Marlins are the tonic for all of these pitchers who are struggling. Keon Jackson, we are getting close to the. That's Brian Warren. Brian, we missed you, man. We're getting close to the Taint play today. Jose's play today is Boston Red Sox money line, and that correlates with the Gambler's First Glance by Razor Sharp Picks, which is also Boston Red Sox a money line. All right. So I'm on the board. I have 2 bets before I came in: Angels full game and the first 5 over 4 and Mariners A's. That's my first edition for sure, and that is the full game under 8 in Padres Marlins. All right, let's move on. We move on to Cardinals Reds, and this game has just been messing with me nonstop all day. I want to fade Wade LeBlanc so badly, but the question is, do you trust Tyler Mahle? Do you trust him? And I don't know if I trust him as this big of a favorite. I just don't think I did. Turnsy, what's happening? Picked this up at the Foot Locker in Yorkdale. Okay, Cardinals, Reds. Cardinals 49-48, 21-28 on the road at the Reds, 49-47, 24-25 at home. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Matty Ice says, look at his home road splits. Here we go. We'll go right to it. Mahle at home, 2-2, 6.37 ERA. Opponents are hitting 268 off him. On the road, 5-1, 2.26 ERA. Opponents are hitting 189 off of him. And he just had a road start and looked terrible doing it. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, 8 Ks, and 11-6 loss at the Brewers. Diesel. I want to fade Wade LeBlanc so badly. I see he's 0-1, 2.92 ERA, 1.38 whip. He's not that pitcher. He's got 13 Ks and 9 walks and 24 2/3. He's allowed 4 home runs and 24 2/3. I want to fade him badly. Nutflush Allen says, guys, think of the plenty of games on this card. When you have games like New York versus Boston, San Francisco versus Dodgers, these games are so tight. Why not take advantage of better spots? There's Dommy Gun Ricci in the house. OG Lowbagger listening from the car. Much love to you. Okay. So do you trust Mahle as this big of a favorite? And the market move is being extremely interesting. It opens up at 10 and then drops to 9.5. And Mahle goes from -149 to -155. Now, the Reds bullpen has been a little better of late, but on the year, they still have a 5.33 ERA, 1.43 whip, converted 27 of 45. The Cards bullpen has been bad all year. We thought they were going to be much better. 4.46 ERA, 1.43 whip, converted 27 of 36. Sure, they're better than the Reds bullpen. So, yes, I would prefer to have the Cardinals in the second half of this baseball game. Cards aren't hitting righties this year, 231, 677. Reds aren't hitting lefties, 228, 687 OPS. So is this offense so meek that we can expect these pitchers to have a nice start? Wade LeBlanc just had a nice start at home versus the Giants. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 1 walk, and 3 Ks. Stayed out of trouble. He got soft contact. Tyler Mahle's last start, as I said, was terrible. 11-6 loss to the Brewers. He allowed 5 earned runs and 2 homers. So let's go to the baseball data here. Against LeBlanc, they're hitting 323 and 995 OPS. And it's Castellanos is 4 for 6 with a homer. Votto 5 for 13 with a homer. Suarez 1 for 5 with a homer. Against Mahle, they're hitting 238 with a 709 OPS. But do you trust him as this big of a favorite? Because every time I was looking, I was like, fuck, man, I don't know if I do. Keon Jackson says, good call, Mal, on that first 5 over 5 in that Detroit game, and Yankees under 5.5 saved me. Matty Ice says full game over. Let's go to the market here. And we have 52% of the tickets and 59% of the cash on the under, and it's moved down a half run. I want to fade LeBlanc with everything that I am. But he's a pitcher that when I get overconfident fading him, he has a nice start. But I know what his ERA is going to end up at this year. It's going to end up at 5, or 4.95, and I want to take advantage of it. Crystal Warren says Suarez either strikes out or homers. Sunny Spring says Reds are nothing. Sharpie says I lean over Mahle's sprint rate guy, allowing more than 3 games since June 16th crackdown. Gerald Jones says sounds like over I didn't want to go up against this market move. Yes, I want Reds first 5, but why is Molly being so bad at home? So instead of the full game over, I was like, maybe we should attack the first 5 over. And that was something that I was staring at for hours. And even that I couldn't pull the trigger on. Let's just see what market moves happen on this first 5 over at this point here. We have, where the hell? Sorry. Here we go. Opened under 5.5 at -113. There's been a 4-cent move to the under. And then on the -1 line, so I could have got Molly on the -1 line at -124. And I couldn't do that. Oh, Matt Paulins. Yeah, LeBlanc's been good in these 5 starts. LeBlanc could have been picked up for a cup of coffee. Any team in the league could have picked him up. He's not a good pitcher, but he's a soft tossing lefty. And look, we see guys stick around for years when they shouldn't be. These soft tossing, crafty lefties. Brian Warner, Reds first 5, alt line at +110, 1 unit. Real Deal Prime says LeBlanc's my last name. Look, no disrespect, Real Deal Prime to the name, but to the pitcher. Okay, I don't know what to do. I still don't know what to do, and I'm not going to force anything here. Okay, so we move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Next up for us, Tampa Bay Rays, 58-39, 28-21 on the road at the Cleveland Indians, 48-46, 24-20 at home at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. 79 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 4 miles per hour, sideways in. Do we know, is it Rich Hill or Josh Fleming? Fleming now. Fleming is confirmed. Do we have the COP here on the books? Let's go to full game. Fleming. Okay, Fleming is confirmed. Fleming is the guy. Piker says LeBlanc throws 85 miles per hour. I just hate the price on this game. He's a fade guy. Second half in particular, not ready to run the line this one. I mean, look. Yeah, it looks like it's Fleming. Look, Piker, then we have to get the first 5 over. Right? But it's already juiced to the under as if Fleming's going to have a good start. Okay, let's go to Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. The now Cleveland Guardians. 79 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 4 miles per hour, sideways in. We have Josh Fleming. Yes, Michael Irvelina, it was Rich Hill and it was Josh Fleming on some, and I believe they've moved to Fleming. A question, is Hill going to be a primary? That is a good question, Sharpie. That is a good question. I mean, with a savvy veteran like Rich Hill, I don't know. I don't think, but I mean, look, the Braves do everything right with pitchers. Let's just see if we have a primary. No, it's Fleming's the starter. Okay. Let's get to work here. Fleming, 7-5, 3.93 ERA, 1.09 whip, 73 in the third, 43 Ks, 18 walks, 9 home runs. And Crystal Warren, great to have you in the chat with us. We love having female handicappers working with us. Much respect. Let's get paid right now. In Fleming's last start, he went 4 1/3. He allowed 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 1 K, and a 9-0 loss at the Braves. Plesac on the other side, 5-3, 4.19 ERA, 1.02 whip, 68 2/3, 45 Ks, 13 walks, 12 home runs. His last start was pretty good. It was at Oakland, and Oakland's bats have gone cold. Now they've gone cold, and I'm still on that first 5 over 4 in Seattle. That's the last game on the card. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Rays versus righties, 234, 732 OPS. Indians just 225, 689 OPS versus lefties on the season. Rays bullpen, 3.15 ERA, 1.13 whip, 27 of 38 converted saves. Indians bullpen, 3.38 ERA, 1.27 whip, 25 of 36, but they have not been good. Big Ragu, southpaw through mid-80s in high school and college, still around. Respect, Ragu. Okay, so let's go to the odds first and see what we're dealing with. Then we'll go to baseball data, and then we'll see where the cash lies in this spot. This first 5 total was juiced to the under. It still is, but there's been a 3-cent move to the over. Let's go to the full game money lines and totals here. We have this total opening up at 9 and -106. That's a pick'em at Pinnacle. That's an opening line pick'em. So there's been a 2-cent move to the under. And then we've had no move on the Rays. They open up at -119, and they still are. Nuffle Shallen said, Jimmy, I said it on the last game of the Cards-Giants. The Cards bats woke up a bit. They have. No doubt about that. And Eric Rosas giving us Olympics look there. Nyjah Houston wins skateboarding street minus 125. Okay, so Ulysses Hayes says Cards riding on momentum. We talked about the card. I know we're Rays Indians, but we talked about Gas Station flat betting them every day. And he started in that Giant series where they were plus money in each of those 3 games. Okay, so let's take a look at the baseball data here. So no movement on the Rays at minus 119. Against Fleming, 0 for 9 are the Indians. Against Plesac, they're 3 for 10 with a double, 300 with 1.064 OPS. Small sample size. Then let's move over to the cash flow and see why there's been no movement towards the Tampa Bay Rays in this spot. Where is it? There we go. Okay, 2,042 tickets in. 62% of the tickets and 61% of the cash on the Rays and no movement. 51% of the tickets on the under and 72% of cash on the under. Let's take a look at this total at 9. This total sitting at 9. I know the Indians bullpen's been bad, but these offenses have been quiet. I feel like this is another under here. The question is, do we trust Fleming? Now in a second straight road start, but the Indians don't hit lefties. And it's a 9. I mean, that's a nice number. They're going to score 10 runs in this game? This anemic Cleveland Indians offense? Real Deal Prime says, please act on my fantasy team. He's solid. I don't know if they can get to 9. Crystal Warren says it was 8.5 last night. Thank you, Crystal. Let me go and check the market movement here. Let's see what Pinnacle opened this up at. Pinnacle opened it up at 9. So that's the main book that I want to know their openers. And I pretty much I have so much faith in their market analysis. But let's check out Bet Online because Bet Online is the first to the market. Let's check out Bet Online. And they opened it at 9 too. Okay. I think this is an under spot. There's Gas Station Sushi in the house. Gas Station, we opened with a shout out to you. Great stuff. He gave us 3 horses at Saratoga yesterday. And the third one cashed. The $2 bet paid out $10.60. If you bet them all, you were healthy in the black. And the boy, Gas Station, thank you for looking out for us. Okay, under 9. Under 9. I am in. Tampa, Cleveland, under 9. Nutflush says, look at the Cards team total over and see what you can get. I will do that right now. The Cards team total is sitting at 4.5 at plus 105. The fact that the market's moving towards the under in that game is just throwing me for a loop, and I do feel like we have enough options in this game. Let's move on to another option here. I find this game absolutely unbelievably interesting. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Blue Jays 48-44. Mal liking that under. I like it, Mally. Matt Paulin said, I don't trust Plesac. He looked okay in his 2 starts back from injury. It's not that I have this huge trust in Plesac. It's just that he seems to get the job done, and this is a home start for him. And if he can allow 3 or less, then I'll be in business here. Robert Allen's on Indians plus 1.5. Osby says Big Ragu coming back for college breakdowns. God damn, I hope so. We love Ragu. We need more Ragu. Okay. This is a very interesting game. Okay. Jays 48-44, 26-22 on the road at the Mets, 50-43, 28-14 at home. We're at Citi Field in Queens, New York. 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour in. We come to the Rusty Kuntz play of the day from our Turnsy in the chat. Rusty Kuntz is sitting at 10-4, 71.4% he's cashing at. He's on the team total over 4.5 at plus 115. He says Jays are 8-0 to the over versus right-handed starters in their last 8. After a day off and a couple bad games versus the Red Sox, I expect the bats to get going. Steven Matz, the lefty on the bump. He is this polarizing figure in this game. I don't trust Steven Matz here. But now he's going up against the team that discarded him, the team that he always dreamt about playing for. I remember Steven Matt's first game for the Mets years ago. He had a double off the wall. His family were all in Mets jerseys. They were losing their mind, and he gets ditched for nothing. Is he going to be angry? He's coming off a good start at home versus the Rangers in the 7-inning doubleheader. 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 2 Ks. Going up against Tyler McGill, who's been really good. So before he came into the show, he'd only played in 3 games over AA, and he was a strikeout machine in the minors. His last start really got me noticing something. He's a strikeout guy, and he goes 6 innings, 6 hits, doesn't allow a run, doesn't walk a batter, and only gets 2 strikeouts. He's pitching within himself. A lot of these kids who get huge strikeout numbers, that's what they think they have to do in the majors. But you don't need to do that. You need outs in the majors, not strikeouts, outs. And I was very, very impressed with his performance. Yes, Nut Flush Allen, the team total over is 4.5. Sorry, can somebody write that in? 4.5. Team total over 4.5 at plus 105 at bet 365. Fuck it, I'll just do it. Cards, team total over 4.5. Plus 105. Okay. Okay. So what do you do? Jays are hitting 268, 794 OPS versus righties. As you just heard from Rusty Kuntz, play of the day, they're 8-0 to the over versus right-handed starters in their last 8. So why wouldn't they be able to get 5 runs? Mets bullpen being good all year, 4.13 ERA, 1.37 whip, 26.40. Keon Jackson's getting a 4. I like that. Gas Station Sushi says the problem with Matz is he's constantly up in the strike zone. I want to fade Matz as much as possible. The Mets are only hitting 237, 704 OPS versus lefties. And I know the kid plays with a lot of heart and soul. And now he's going up against the Mets, and I don't know what to do with him. And I see that the Rusty Kuntz play of the day is the Jays team total over 4.5, and that I think that one of the really nice moments in that breakdown was that this team just got beaten up by the Red Sox and then get a day off and come into New York, and now they need to play some good baseball. But I don't trust Matt. So then maybe Turnsy's nailed this spot. Maybe the Jays team total over 4.5 is a spot. But maybe if you think McGill's going to have a nice start, it's 4.5 at plus 100 now. Real Deal Prime says Steve will get a beating out early, son. And Crystal Warren quoting Crash Davis. Okay, so I get Turnsy's look, but at this point I need more time to sit with it and decide if I want to run with it. But we haven't gone through all of our important things that I need to do to help everybody analyze the spot. The total opened up at 9. It was juiced to the under at minus 118. It's now moved to 8.5, juiced to the over. The Mets opened up at minus 118. They're now sitting at minus 113. We go to baseball data. Only 2 Mets have ever seen Mats, Pilar, and VR, but we know that they know him well. They're 2 for 12. And the Jays have never seen McGill. So let's go over to cash flow in this spot here. We have 4,047 tickets in. 59% of the tickets are on the over and just 12% of the cash. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. Sorry. That's money line. My fault. Sorry. Okay. Let's do this again. We have 41% of the tickets on the Mets and 88% of the cash. 88% of the cash. Big bets are made on the Mets, and yet this market has moved 5 cents towards the Jays. And then for the total here, 44%. So it's the same numbers. 44% of the tickets on the under and 83% of the cash on the under. You know what? I'm not making a move. I'm going to just tear on Turnsy at this point. Okay, let's move on to a spot I did make a bet on. And I was going to double up, and maybe I still do double up. But I was shocked that BetOnline had moved the first 5 on the Angels from minus 145 to minus 135 to minus 130. Sharpie says this is no run first inning for him. For the Jays Mets. Interesting. And Ulysses is on Toronto money line plus 100. Okay, we're in Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 93 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 11 miles per hour, sideways out to left field. Alex Cobb going up against J.A. Happ. Those of you who've run with me for a long time, I know Viper is shaking his head right now. My guy Viper MB is shaking his head right now. Oh, we got an exacta box and win bet for Saratoga in race 4. The 2 and the 6. He's going to box them and bet them each to win. Race 4 at Saratoga. Copy and paste that. And Mr. Gokster in the house. Mr. Gokster, we have another Back Nine show today. Excited. Mr. Gokster hosting our golf show on Pub Sports Radio. Okay, so back to the spot. Alex Cobb, I've lost a lot of money on. He's pitching very well right now. Clearly, I had a vividness bias of him on the Rays in our division pitching well. He signed a big deal with the Orioles, and he was terrible, and I lost a lot of money on him. Now he's pitching really well again. 7-3, 3.96 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, 72 2/3, 80 Ks, 25 walks, 3 home runs. Sharpie says, I did bet the over 10 and Angels team total over 5.5. Happ has had 14 out of his last 15 games go to the over. We'll smash every live bet that drops under the number 10. All right. Alex Cobb has allowed 3 home runs in 72 2/3. In his last start, he went 6 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 4 walks, 6 Ks, and a 9-4 win at home versus the Mariners. J.A. Happ, 5-5, 6.15 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, 89 1/3, 71 Ks, 26 walks, 19 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings. He allowed 11 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a 7-0 loss at the Tigers. The Angels smashed lefties, 263, 785 OPS on the season. And the Twins are okay against righties, 238, 736 OPS. But now they don't have Nelson Cruz in the lineup, and you know the message that sends to the players. Angels bullpen, 4.82 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. They've been bad all year. You can imagine this team that's sitting 1 game under 500 would be 5 games over 500 if they had a decent bullpen. The Twins bullpen, 4.87 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, have converted 23 of 37 save opportunities. Piker is on Tigers full game plus 115. Boston full game minus 115. Boston, New York Yankees under 4.5 first 5. And Cleveland first 5 at minus 105. Best of luck, Piker, my man. So the first thing I want to know when we go to the market is I want it still to be moving towards the Angels. I want that to tick that box. Here we go. They open up minus 104. They're now minus 122. That's not a good sign. That means it's come back. At 8:07 a.m., the Angels are minus 135. I don't like seeing that. And at 5:41 p.m. yesterday, the Angels were minus 103. The Twinkies were minus 105. The Twinkies were the favorite. All right, let's move to first 5 here, and let's go over to BetOnline. So BetOnline was moving this towards the Twins, and they've just kept it there at minus 135. Twins, Angels. Okay, let's go to baseball data here. Do I really need to double dip? Against Cobb, these Twins are hitting 250 with a 712 OPS. Against Happ, 294, 937 OPS. So let's just see what they're offering me for the first 5 here on the Angels. They're offering me minus 140, so it's moved up again. So then I would have to take the Angels minus a half. Minus a half, which would be minus 115. Okay, I'm certainly leaning towards adding the first 5. Minus a half and minus 115. Robert Allen says Angels won the game yesterday. That was my best bet. Tonight I would take the Twins. Okay, so let's take a look at where the cash lies in this spot and whether I should have a red flag. We have 3,820 tickets in. 68% of the tickets are on the Angels, 68% of the cash, and we've seen the big market move towards them. Then we have 62% of the tickets on the under and 74% of cash on the under. Very, very, very interesting. Okay, so I expect to add the first 5. I'm quite confident. Yeah, to the Rays. Cruz is on the Rays now, and they're going to be very tough. Okay, So let's move on. 8:10 p.m. Next up, we have the Chicago White Sox, 58-38, 23-21 on the road, and Milwaukee Brewers, 56-41, 27-23 at home. And it's Lucas Giolito up against Freddie Peralta. And you guys know how high I am on Freddie Peralta, but I haven't made the move. Oh, Keon Jackson got -0.5 at -105. Nice job. White Sox Brewers, and then we come to the spreadsheet play of the day from our Ron Crawford. He's on Milwaukee -125, and he's won every day this week. He's sitting 3-0, and he is a fantastic capper. American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. White Sox 23-21 on the road. Brewers 27-23 at home. 84 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour sideways across the diamond. Gerald Jones says fading comes in Twins all weekend. All right, let's talk about Giolito. 8.6, 3.90 ERA, 1.11 whip, 113 innings, 133 Ks, 33 walks, 19 home runs. In his last start, he went 9 innings. He allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. Didn't walk a batter. Struck out 8 and a 10-1 win at home versus the Astros. Now he goes on the road against the Brew Crew, a team that's hitting much better. On the year, though, they've been poor. 222, 689 OPS versus righties compared to the White Sox, 253, 755 OPS versus righties. Going up against Peralta, whom I love, and is having a great season. 7-3, 2.39 ERA, 0.90 whip, 135 Ks in 98 innings, 44 walks, 10 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walk, 6 Ks in a 4-3 loss at home versus the Reds. The Brewers' bullpen has been getting better day in and day out. They had a tough start to the year. They've been looking very good of late. 3.71 ERA, 1.30 whip, 25-44. White Sox bullpen, 4.07 ERA, 1.30 whip, 26-42. Real Deal Prime says Brew Crew, good pick here. Let it ride. Mally Mouse says the White Sox have cost them. D-Nice says easy money on the White Sox. Let's go to baseball data, and then we'll look at the market. Baseball data here against Giolito. They're hitting 194, but with a 711 OPS. So 6 for 31, but 2 jacks. Avisail Garcia's jacked. Jackie Bradley jacked. Against Freddie Peralta, 235, 647 OPS. I really wanted to talk this game out because I love Freddie Peralta, but Giolito's last start scared me. Is Giolito the type of pitcher that we should be concerned after he goes 9? I don't think he is. He's not one of those guys who rarely does it. All right. So this total opened up at 7.5, -112 to the over. It's now juiced to the under. Peralta opening up at -114, and the Brewers, they're now at -126. So let's see where the cash lies in this spot. We have 57% of the tickets, moneyline tickets, but just 32% of the cash on Milwaukee. 68% of the cash is on the White Sox. Well, that's a red flag for me. Then we have 50% of the tickets and 77% of cash on the under. Now, the White Sox bullpen had been playing poorly before the All-Star break. They've got their shit together after the All-Star break. Sharpie says, I love the Peralta K-prop. 7.5 to the over. Lean the first 5 under myself. And Mike M says, absolutely love Brew Crew spot. Peralta's second home start. Gilio went deep last night. Checks big boxes for me. I agree, but one of the things that we've talked about with these pitchers who go deep is, and this is what Loshak was saying, is this a pitcher who's comfortable going deep? And Giolito is one of them. He can go 9, no problem. And we've seen him go 9. We've seen him throw no-hitters. We've seen him throw a PG. Mally Mouse says Giolito don't got it this year. The numbers show that. Yeah, but the season's long. And Giolito can get hot. All right, let's take a look at the totals here. I want to look at the first 5. So we know that the 7.5 full game is juiced to the under. What are they giving you first 5? A 4. God, I mean, are they going to score 5 runs in that first 5 against these great pitchers? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Mike M says Giolito eats out of the dumpster behind the Chinese restaurant. Okay. First 5 under 4 adding to my card. First 5 under 4 adding to my card. White Sox, Milwaukee Brewers. Let's move on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern is next up. Detroit Tigers at Kansas City Royals. God, there's so many fascinating games on this card. This is another one. Another one. Dutch Boy Fresh says Brewers lost 5 in a row at home. Hard for me to back them. Maybe they're due. Crystal Warren says Brewers bats cooled off after spanking the Reds. All right. The North Ender liking that first 5 under spot. Okay, let's go. Tigers at Royals. So we cashed on the Tigers 4 straight days. How many games in a row they won? Let's not talk about it because we talk about each game as its own entity. And this game makes me very uncomfortable. Matty Ice says Tigers score first. Tigers score first. And Sharpie liking that look in that first 5 under 4. Tigers, Royals, and a first 5 under for Matty Ice. So we're Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, 90 Fahrenheit, humid. Ball could be flying, and the wind is 9 miles per hour out to left center. You have Willie Peralta. Could have been picked up for a fucking empty bottle of Gatorade. 3-1, 1.64 ERA, 0.94 whip, 33 innings, 20 Ks, 11 walks. So not a good K walk ratio, but he's kept his career alive. 3 home runs allowed in 33 innings. Who was he pitching for before that dumped him off at a Greyhound bus station and said, lose my number? It was the Royals. So 1, the Royals know him. 2, Peralta might have a bone to pick. His last start was so good. 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, 4 Ks, and 7-0 win at home versus the Twins. Do you think Peralta is anywhere as good as these numbers indicate him to be? No. Going up against Chris Bubich. Now, here's another problem. You guys know that I like Chris Bubich. And he's cost me at times this year. He's also helped me, but I'd be very curious to see what my ROI is on Bubich games. Vitalis now says Peralta in first 5 this season, 5-1 at 83% with the Red Hot Tigers. Great to see you, Vitalis. Bubich, 2-4, 5.03 ERA, 1.52 whip, 62 2/3, 53 Ks, 33 walks, 13 home runs. In his last start, he looked great. He went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and an 8-4 loss at the Orioles. And the Orioles aren't hitting lefties, and that's probably the reason why I'm not going to back Jorge Lopez. Tigers, 249, 713 OPS versus lefties. They've been hitting lefties very hard. They've been hitting everybody hard. And remember when they had a high 4 OPS versus lefties, I said, remember what these Tigers used to do to lefties. Their numbers will improve. Carlos Luder's on Tigers first 5 plus a half at -120. Royals don't hit righties, 241, 687 OPS. The Tigers bullpen is looking much stronger. And it's Soto who's looking much stronger. Soto has saved 3 straight games. He can't pitch today. So who are they going to throw out there? Funkhauser? Funkhauser looks a little susceptible at times, but he still has great season numbers. Tigers bullpen 5.15 ERA, 1.47 whip, 23 of 36. I tell you what I wouldn't want to have. Or if the Tigers are up by a run, and Funkhauser, I believe he pitched last 2 days in a row too. If the Tigers are up by a run, and this going into the bottom 9th, live bet the Royals. Who's going to close this game for the Tigers? Royals bullpen has been better than the Tigers throughout the year, but the Royals bullpen is not good. 4.69 ERA, 1.39 whip. Here's another thing about Bubich, and I know Mike M knows this. 3rd straight start at home. 3rd straight start at home. But why do I have his last start at the Orioles? It must be a mistake. Shit, let me just double check that very quickly. I can't be giving you guys wrong info. Sorry, let me just make sure that's a huge point of Bubich. Let's go to Chris Bubich. And yes, so that start was at home versus the Orioles. I have at the Orioles, my fault. So this is his 3rd straight start at home. And Mike M says, Jimmy, I have that written down. So, okay, so we have all these things. Look, my ROI shot through the roof when I listened to Gas Station Sushi saying there's no momentum in baseball. If you hear Pete Rose talk about baseball, he says streaks. Who do you trust? Gas Station Sushi or Pete Rose? I trust Gas. And it's helped me. So who cares what the Tigers have done in the past? What we do know is that they have nobody to close this game out. So let's dive a little bit deeper. We go to baseball data here. Peralta, 188, 600 OPS against them. And he probably hates them. Against Bubich, 342, 917 OPS. These guys rake Bubich. They rake him. Okay. So then let's add in the market. So in this spot, we have the first 5 at 5.5, and it's moved to 6. So obviously there's a feeling that these guys could get touched. Then we go to full game. We have KC opening up at minus 118. Now they're at minus 113. And that doesn't tell the whole story. This tells the whole story, okay? The Royals open up at minus 118, and all of the early money comes in on the Royals. They move all the way up to minus 127. Who's making the early bets? Sharps, syndicates, professionals. Who's making the late bets? The public. So the public starts hammering the Tigers. Now the Royals are minus 113. So the Royals open up at minus 118. They go up to minus 127 by 10:38 last night. And now they're back at minus 113 because the public is betting the Tigers. And look, I'm not saying the public is wrong here, but here we go. 15% of the tickets are on the Royals, 31% of the cash. And that's changing by the minute because the public's betting the Tigers. 49% of the tickets on the under, 79% of the cash. I tell you what I'm going to do. Nothing. I'm not touching this game. Thank you, Detroit Tigers. I needed those wins badly. My man Matty Ice got to watch one of those games from right behind the plate. And that's all I want, man. I got paid. Enjoy your ball game. I got my cash. We move on to 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Texas Rangers 35-62, 13-37 on the road. Houston Astros 58-39, 31-20 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. And this brings us to Taint, baby. Taint. The Taint play of the day is Houston Astros minus 1.5 at minus 110. You know who was watching that bench very closely? Everybody sitting in that dugout for the Texas Rangers was our Matty Ice. He said it was a library. He said it was all fucking moping around like assholes. That's what he saw from the Texas Rangers, where they're fucking mopers. Head down, wallowing in self-pity. Taint play of the day is the Astros minus 1.5 and minus 110. Let's break it down. Minute Maid Park, Houston, Texas. Roof closed. Going to be hot in Houston today. Over 100. Kobe Allard, 2-7, 4.06 ERA, 1.11 whip, 68 2/3, 62 Ks, 14 walks, 12 home runs. Mally Mal says Astros have been struggling. I was asked about this game on the radio today before I knew it was a Taint play today, but I was a little uncomfortable with the Houston Astros because there is a rivalry between the Rangers and the Astros. They don't like each other. Could this wake up these sad sack losers on the Texas Rangers? Possibly. It could wake them up. Colby Allard coming off a bad start. He's a tricky guy to figure out. When you watch him with an eye test, he's terrible. But his stats aren't bad. But he's coming off a bad start at the Jays. He's had a lot of difficult starts. Before his start against the Jays, he had to go 3 of 4 games against the Oakland Athletics. 3 of 4. Now, the Athletics aren't hitting that well, but, you know, when you keep seeing the same opponent, it gets easier for the batter. Jake Odorizzi on the other side, coming off a terrible start in a 10-1 loss at the White Sox. Is this a perfect bounce-back opportunity for him? Probably. The Rangers are hitting 224, 674 OPS versus righties. Odorizzi, 4.09 ERA, 1.13 whip on the season, 45 Ks and 50 2/3. Life Post says the whole world on the Astros. Mike M says Odorizzi is not minus 200 worthy. Rangers rivalry spot is right, Jimmy. The principle alone can't lay on Houston. Billy Friedrich says Rangers 0-9 since the break. Another thing here is that we had Joe Yurkovich, and this is a winning ROI bet year after year after year. Divisional underdogs. They just pay out. And Maxwell Smart says his name is Jose Altuve. Maxwell Smart, a few days ago, bet the Altuve total base prop, and he opened the game off with a homer. It took Max about 2 minutes to get paid in full. And look at Shannon Hall says the ultimate lock today is Kansas City Royals. It's wild. Okay, so Rangers bullpen bad, 4.52 ERA, 1.35 whip, 17 of 30. The Astros destroy lefties, 277, 778 OPS. Astros bullpen, beautiful. Our boy Tiz Reed hitting a pick 5 for 700. He's a monster. Astros bullpen has been much better of late, 4.15 ERA, 1.32 whip, 22 of 37. Okay, so let's take a look. Skins fan forever, what's happening? Mets get Rich Hill. Oh, man, Mets get Rich Hill. I got to get a new jersey. That's wild, Jose. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's go to baseball data here against Colby Allard. Very surprising information here. This will shock you. The Astros are 7 for 39 against them. Now there's a double and 2 jacks. Shocking, right? And the Astros bats aren't hot right now. Altuve's hot, but the Astros aren't. And then you look at the Rangers versus Odorizzi, 205, 700 OPS. So let's look at this market. This market opens up the Astros at minus 230. They're now at minus 201, a 29-cent move towards the Rangers. This total's gone from 9 to 8.5. Now let's look at the cash flow. We have 5,598 tickets in, 70% of tickets on the Astros, 77% of the cash, and a 29-cent move to the Rangers. Now, the market was wrong on the whole Tigers, not the whole, but the last 2 games of the Tigers-Rangers series as well. Then we go to the 77% of tickets on the over, 89% of the cash on the over, and it's dropped a half run. Shannon Hall, what a great stat. Fading a team on a 7-game win streak, playing a different team on the road is the most profitable bet since 2010. Shannon Hall, that's spectacular. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, with all that being said, and Jeff Slaughter says, shout out to Kay Reed for hitting big with the horses last night. God, Kev's a monster, man. He's just such, not only is he a great thoroughbred handicapper, but he's a great guy and a huge addition to our family here at Pub Sports Radio. Okay. So, Fat win going. Texas team total over 3.5 at plus money. So, look, I'm going to cheer on Taint. I'm sit back, cheer on Taint. Sit back, cheer on Taint. That's my Friday night. All right, 3 games left on this card. We move to 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Pirates, 36-60, 15-34 on the road at San Francisco Giants, 61-35, 30-13 at home. We're at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. 60 Fahrenheit, clear, 11 miles per hour out to left center. Chad Kuhl. We cashed on him in his last start at home against the Mets. We got plus 150. It was on Tuesday. It was Saturday. Excuse me. It was Saturday on the Saturday show, I believe, with Lodell's Loshak. But we cashed. Plus 150 at home. He's lights out at home. Is he still lights out on the road? He's a good pitcher, but do you trust him? Let's bring up his splits very, very quickly here because I like him. And one of the things that Gas talked to us about, I believe it was on our horse racing show, a Razor Sharp Picks horse racing show, but Gas said he tries to find a reason to bet on the worst teams in the league because you're going to get value because the public's always fading them. And then we had that correlating with Pistol Pete Loshak saying you bet the Pirates at home as much as possible and bet unders at home at PNC Park. And he also said, don't say it, don't talk about it too much because he wants that to be his secret. But it's our secret. It's the low baggers' secret. Okay, let's go to the full splits here. Let's break this down. Here we go. Chad Kuhl at home, 2-1, 2.36 ERA. Opponents rating 191. You get him on the road. He's 1-4 with a 6.07 ERA and batters rating 245 against him. So he can't be trusted. Can't be trusted. All right. Johnny Cueto, 6-5 on the other bump, 4.01 ERA, 1.29 whip, 83 innings, 70 K, 60 walks, 12 home runs. All right. Last start, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 2-1 loss at the Cardinals. Pirates versus righties, 239, 682 OPS. Giants versus righties, 244, 768 OPS. Pirates bullpen, 4.39 ERA, 1.36 whip, have converted 14 of 21 save opportunities. The Giants bullpen, 3.31 ERA, 1.12 whip, have converted 35 of 53 save opportunities. All right, let's go over to the baseball data. So we can't trust Chad Kuhl on the road, but this is a pitcher's ballpark. 308 average, 1.092 OPS against them. Then Cueto against these Pirates, 256 with a 619 OPS. Do we trust Cueto? He's coming off an okay start at the Cardinals, but I don't know if I like him. So let's go to the market move in this spot. We have the Giants opening up at minus 175. They're now minus 168, a 7-cent move towards the Pirates. And this total was under 8.5 at minus 112. It's now minus 107, so a 5-cent move towards the over. So let's take a look at the cash. You got 80% of the tickets on the Giants and 92% of the cash on the Giants, and there's a 7-cent move to the Pirates. Then you have 50% of the tickets on the over and 72% of cash on the over at 8.5. So you have all that money on the over, and yet it moves 7 cents towards the over. Do you trust these offenses enough? Davidless says I'm jumping on the Giants money line. And Dommy Gunn says, I'm telling you, Giants Mets play for the NL Championship. Gerald Jones says Cueto a fade. Could Chad Kuhl get hit here? Because if he can, then why wouldn't this over be in effect? Cueto's not going to go deep, but that Giants bullpen's very good. 60 Fahrenheit, 11 miles per hour to left center, but we know at Oracle Park it swirls. Robert Allen says, Pitt Giants, no run first inning, best bet of the day. Okay, so I'm off this game. We move on. 10:10 p.m. Eastern, Colorado Rockies, 42-54, 9-34 on the road at the LA Dodgers, 59-39, 31-17 at home. Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, California, 76 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour out to center. We have Chichi Gonzalez, 3-6, 5.99 ERA, 1.47 whip, 85 2/3, just 49 Ks in those 85 2/3. Chichi. 23 walks, 15 home runs in those 85 2/3. His last start was at the Dodgers. And he got crushed. And now he's back at it. 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 10-4 loss at the Dodgers. Now, what do you do with the Dodgers here? They just got their ass woken up by the Giants in the 9th inning in both games. They're not hitting. Do they take that anger out on the Rockies, or do they continue to swing a wobbly stick? Price on the bump, 4-0, 3.12 ERA, 1.56 whip, 34 2/3, 35 Ks, 10 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 6.5 extra inning loss at the Rockies. Matt Pollan says, why does the price get these crazy high lines? Well, why does Price get these crazy high lines? Uncle Oliver looking at the first 5 over in Rockies Dodgers. Shout out to our guy, Uncle Oliver, a.k.a. Lucky Lefty. OG low bagger, him and Tata Booker. Rockies versus lefties, 263, 754 OPS. Dodgers versus righties, 248, 772 OPS. But it's kind of hard to trust those numbers. Rockies bullpen's been much, much better of late, but still 5.38 ERA, 1.52 whip, have converted 17 of 34. Dodgers bullpen, 3.73 ERA, 1.28 whip, converted 29 of 51, have not been looking good. And Mike M says Price was tossing near 100 miles per hour the other day. Can't see Colorado getting it done today. Eli Nahara says Dodgers game is a stay-away spot. And Mally Mal, yes, Price has been looking much stronger. Okay, so let's go to baseball data. Against Chichi, 228, 759 OPS. Even though he got rocked in that last start, he's got good numbers against him. And against Price, 293, 857 OPS. But he is throwing with a lot more velocity. Okay, so let's go to the market in this Dodger spot. They opened up at minus 255. They're now minus 272. 17-cent move towards them. This total was originally juiced to the over 9 slightly. It's now juiced to the under 9 at minus 114. Crystal Warren says Dodgers dugout going to be weird today. Everyone blame everyone else. Yes, Juan Ruiz. It's a strange name. I got to dig into it a little more. Here we go. Nuff Flush Allen says the ride back to San Francisco is more than likely full of ass slapping and high-fiving. If the RotoWire line gets confirmed, the Giants will roll. Normally, I would stay off them. But fans we be. Yeah, that airplane ride would have been nice. Okay. Brian Warner, first inning Dodgers minus a half at plus 190. Uncle Oliver says time for Price to start earning that cash. Okay, so let's see where the money is in this spot. Colorado. I was hoping that Nut Flush. He's our resident San Francisco Giants expert. I just think it's pricey right now. Let's look at this spot here with Gonzalez and Price. You have 83% of the tickets on the money line tickets on the Dodgers, 87% of the cash. Then you have 56% of the tickets on the over and 79% of cash on the over. And yet, this market move was juiced to the over 9. Now it's juiced to the under 9. I don't know what the Dodgers are going to do. Look, I don't want to sit here and play a guessing game with my cash. I don't know how the Dodgers are going to react to losing these games to the Giants in a heartbreaking fashion. Are they going to take it out on the Rockies, or are they going to be little bitches? I don't know. And I don't want to put my cash on them. And by putting my cash on them would be team totals. It wouldn't be taking them at this juice price. Okay, so we get to our final game on the card, 10:10 p.m. Eastern. Oakland Athletics, 56-42, 26-18 on the road at Seattle Mariners, 51-46, 29-21 at home. We're at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington, 77 Fahrenheit clear, 8 miles per hour in. We have Frankie Montas going up against Yusei Kikuchi. And I know you guys have been waiting for it. We have a resident San Francisco Giants expert. We also have a resident BBW chaser, and his name is David Sharpie. David Sharpie in the house with his Dirty K prop of the day. By the way, the Dirty K prop of the day sitting at 39 and 26, hitting at 60%. Welcome to the show, a man that slaps ass. Sharpie in the house.
The guapo man, the macho man's brother. It happened so fast you can't even talk about it. A lucky person out there is going to win a silver cloud. What a lucky, lucky person. You know what, Mean Jim? Here's a crying towel, and this is for the Seattle Mariners. Oh, yeah, things are just popping right now. Things are starting to grow. Things are starting to cultivate. Just like the Silver Cloud Rolls Royce, top of the line. Don't bet against me. You'll lose your life. Yeah. Snap into a BBW. But we straight back to Frankie Montas, though. 6.5 at plus money. I saw it at plus 105. It's now at plus 125, guys. Last 10 games. If we go through the average, he's a 6.5. That's why we got 6.5. Take all 10 of his numbers, hit an average calculator, guys, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a 6.5. If you dig through the numbers, he's only gone up against 2 teams 27% or higher. Seattle Mariners was one of those teams. He got 11 versus Seattle last time out. It was 9 weeks ago, and he got 8 the last time out versus a 27% K rate team. Right now, the Mariners are at a 27% K rate versus lefties. This lines up straight into a play. I got to play. Analytics say so. Guapo, man. Oh, yeah.
Over 6.5? Is that the line over 6.5 at plus 125 now?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. And that market move doesn't scare the macho man at all.
No, the Guapo man likes to eat.
The Guapo man, my apologies. Okay, I am on the first 5 over 4. It's a bet that I like quite a bit. Let's break this down with Guapo man right now. T-Mobile Park, Seattle, Washington, 77 Fahrenheit clear, 8 miles per hour in. Frankie Fucktoss Montas, 8-8, 4.33 ERA, 1.30 whip, 112 Ks and 106 innings, 29 walks, 14 homers. His last start, as Guapo man explained, 7 Ks and 6 innings. 2 earned runs allowed in a 3-2 loss at home versus the Indians. Going up against Kikuchi. 6-5, 3.92 ERA, 1.13 whip. I don't know if Kikuchi has hit the wall, but he seems to struggle at times every year and go into real slumps. His last start was atrocious. 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and 9-4 loss at the Angels. Team that hits lefties hard. The A's once hit lefties hard. They don't anymore. But on the year, 235, 716 OPS. Mariners just rises to 218, 672 OPS. And then we go to Kikuchi's splits. Flexing is the opposite, but to the extreme. But how do you have a worse ERA, opponent's batting average on the road than at that pitcher's ballpark in Seattle. It's shocking that at T-Mobile will be worse. On the road, Kikuchi's 4-2, 3.52 ERA, and that's after that start at the Angels where he allowed 7 earned runs in 5 innings. At home, he's 2 and 3, 4.43 ERA with a 2.10 opponent's batting average. He's worse at home than he is on the road. I am fading Kikuchi here. Let's go into baseball data here. Against Montas, they're the 309.04 OPS, but he has 20 strikeouts and 60 at-bats. You got to like that, 20 strikeouts and 60 at-bats. Eh, Guapo?
Yes, sir, but you got to like that fucking batting average and OPS for your over. See, but with strikeout props, that can happen, guys. You could get racked. You can give up 3-4 runs in 1 inning, and they'll still leave you guys out there for 5-6 innings. They can't burn bullpens, guys.
Yeah. I get it. I absolutely get it here. Then we go to Kikuchi. Against Kikuchi, the A's are hitting 239 with a 708 OPS, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all right now. And if the guy that I'm most worried about gets hit by the opponent and the guy I don't trust has good numbers against the opponent, that puts me in a nice spot for that first 5 over. And we're getting a 4. Let's see what it is right now. So I got first 5 over 4 at minus 110. If you want that first 5 over 4 right now, there it is. It's at minus. It's slightly juiced to the under a couple books, so it's not the best situation. Get that in you. Get that in you, Guapo man. Get that in you.
I gotta step into a BBW. Oh yeah.
There he is. Let's just take a look at cash, and then we'll send our Guapo man to go throw loads wherever he feels it necessary. Here we go. The Oakland A's. So we have 2,975 tickets in. 70% of the tickets on the A's, 61% of the cash, and then 48% of the tickets on the under, and 72% of the cash. That makes me a little uncomfortable. That makes me a little nervous here. That fan says, if you're thinking Mariners are losing tonight, you should play A's for a sweep. This is the M's only chance to win one of the 4 games. Wow. There you have it. Guapo man, thank you for joining us. We want more of you on the show and hitting at an alarming 60% rate. The Dirty K prop, 39 wins, 26 losses, and he is on Montas over 6.5 Ks at plus 125. And where can we find you on Twitter, my man?
You guys can find me at Sharpie's Bets or your local bar hunting down whales. I'll be on the MLB Closing Time show Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Pop in, come say hi. I'll be there.
Beautiful. There he is, Sharpie's Bets. You will see more and more of him on this channel because we love him. Go get paid in full, my man. There he is, Sharpie's Bets in the house. It is now time to review action. We're coming off a huge day. We need to carry that on. Let's get to work. And also, don't forget, our man, Lowbagger Luke Murphy's new book, new novel, Finders Keepers, being released today. I'll tweet that out. All right. Diamondbacks Cubs makes me uncomfortable. I'm off. The first 5 under 4 in Braves Phillies, I do not know what to do with. There's Breets Beats in the house. Another OG Lowbagger who's graced our screen as well. My guy, Breets Beats. I do not know what to do with Braves Phillies. I do not know what to do. And I should probably just stay off. I have 2 question marks beside the first 5 under 4. Then we have Nats Orioles. Look, if I got a free play, if I was just fucking around, I would take the Orioles first 5. But they're not hitting lefties lately. And I'm off that game. Then we get to Gambler's First Glance and Jose's action. They are both on the Boston Red Sox today. Garrett Cole versus Eduardo Rodriguez. I have interest in that full game, under 8.5, and the first 5 under, but I'm not betting it. I'm just too uncomfortable with them having both seen their opponents last week. Although I understand it's going to be a playoff type atmosphere, I can't add that. I can't put money on that. I'd rather just sit back and cheer on Razor and Jose. I am adding to my card the full game under 8 in Padres Marlins. I can't move on this Reds Cardinals game. There's too much conflicting information, and I can't do it. I want the Reds first 5. I think it's too expensive. And I want the first 5 over, but the market's leaning towards the under, and I have to stay off. I have to. Then I'm on the under 9. This is in addition to my card. I haven't bet under 9 in Rays Indians. Then we have Turnsy's Rusty Kuntz play of the day. He's on the Jays team total over 4.5 at plus 115. Now that's gone down to plus 100 bet 365. He got that at Pinnacle. Jays team total over 4.5, and he is 10-4, hitting at 71.4% on the show. Then we move on to a bet I'd already made. I'm on the Angels full game at minus 125. I bet it last night. I was too late. There was a real big move towards the Angels, and it's died off at this point, but there was a huge move. Then I'm adding the first 5 minus half at minus 115. I'm believing in Cobb and fading Hap and double dipping, which is not something that I want to be doing. There's our guy, Dennis Trusty in the house. What up, Trusty? Then we have the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day on the Milwaukee Brewers at minus 125. Ron Crawford going for the week sweep. He's cashed his spreadsheet play every day on this show so far this week. He's going for the sweep with Milwaukee. I'm not following that, but I like it. I have somewhat of a correlating play. I'm on the first 5 under 4. Then Tigers, Royals, I'm off, and I find that shit so fascinating, this game, so fascinating. Then the Taint play of the day is on the Astros minus 1.5 at minus 110, and I'm going to stay off and cheer on Taint. Pirates, Giants, I'm off. Rockies, Angels, I'm off. Then we come to Sharpie's Dirty K prop of the day over 6.5 Ks at plus 125, and I am on the first 5 over 4. And the market's starting to move against me, and that makes me a little uncomfortable. And there we have it. Gas Station Sushi gave us a best bet at Saratoga. He's coming off putting money in our pocket yesterday. Our guy Ergo Costic got it at plus 750. That was Chloe Rose, the 10 horse. He went 1 for 3. The best thing about horse racing is if you go 1 for 3, you're going to be in the black. And the 10 Chloe Rose paid off $10.60. So this is his spot here. He's got. I'm going to pop it in the chat. He's going to exact the box, the 2 and the 6 in race 4, and he's also going to bet each horse to win. That's the 2 and 6 in race 4, betting them both to win and exact the box. Fap Win gave us a 40-1 casher in South African racing yesterday, and I couldn't get it. It wasn't available on HPI. And 40-1 from Fap. He's got to look today. Melody Man, race 9 at plus 160. Peak fitness for this run. Morfettville, race 9, Melody Man from our Fap Win. I'll pop that in the chat right there. There you have it. Big thank you to our producer, Jose, on the 1s and 2s, doing a spectacular job with the graphics and with his Say Hey play of the day, which we enjoy so much. Big thank you to all you guys for all the effort and insights and humor that you bring to the chat. I know, and Pete knows this. We always knew this. It's the chat that makes this show special, and you guys do it time and time again. I've enjoyed this week immensely rolling with you guys. Thank you to all of you. Brian Warner, Real Deal Prime, Dommy, Gunn, Ricci, Diesel, Eugene, Sanka, The Real DJX, Gerald Jones, Dennis Trusty, Mally Mal, OG, always putting in that fight. Jesus Ortiz, Breets Beats, Mike M. And big shout out, Hearts and Sharpen the Harpoon, to our star special guest, our man and yours, David Sharpie. Don't panic. Ulysses Hayes, Juan Ruiz, too many of you guys to name because you all mean so much. Gerald Jones, Michael Murphy, Michael Ervelina. There's Luke Murphy. His novel being released today. We'll end with Luke Murphy one more time. Finders Keepers. I'm going to tweet it out. Let's support one of our own. His new book, Finders Keepers, being released today. I love you guys. Let's get paid. We're having a good week. It was very strong opening, Then we lost on Thursday, an ugly day, 1-4 down 3.55 units. Came back yesterday and fucking ate. And I want to eat some more. Thank you guys for your support. But most importantly, let's milk these fucking bookies. Leche, Elos, Lope. Oh shit, Lope, Leche, Lope. I fucking fucked that up at the end of the day. Leche, Elos bookmakers. Get that shit.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.